Thanks for tuning in to ARIRANG News. I'm Devin Whiting in Seoul. The team in charge of investigating the Choi Soon-sil case has been ordered to look into charges of dereliction of duty against Woo Byung-woo, the former presidential secretary for civil affairs, who returned home this morning after 15 hours of questioning that began on Sunday. The head of the Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office, Lee Young-yeol, who heads the Choi Soon-sil probe, said Woo could be summoned for questioning again if there's any connection found between him and Choi. In anticipation of that, prosecutors have asked the Ministry of Justice to ban Woo from leaving the country. The renewed focus on Woo Byung-woo comes after opposition lawmakers on Sunday called on prosecutors to investigate him for failing to prevent Choi, a private citizen with no security clearance, from accessing presidential office documents, which they said constitutes a dereliction of duty. Meanwhile, President Park Geun-hye and her officials are doing what they can to calm the public anger over the power abuse scandal engulfing her administration. They're listening to public opinion and trying to accommodate the demands of the nation's political parties. Our presidential office correspondent Song Ji-sun has the latest.
Severe. That the word mentioned most by an official at the presidential office of Cheongwade, indicating that the top office is both aware of the degree of public anger and willing to listen to public opinion on the abuse of power scandal rolling the country. At a meeting with reporters on Monday, the official said the priority for the president and her staff is to stabilize the nation and ensure there is no vacuum in state affairs. He also said this week will be a critical period in efforts to strike an agreement with the opposition parties on ways to resolve the crisis. The opposition parties are demanding that President Park withdraw her nominee for Prime Minister Kim Byung-jun, saying they should be the ones to propose a nominee. The officials said Kim will be granted all the necessary power and authority to carry out state affairs. The president's chief of staff and the senior secretary for politics visited the National Assembly on Monday to arrange a meeting between the president and party leaders in an effort to seek their understanding regarding her choice. Another word the official repeated was communication. President Park met the same day with senior religious leaders representing Korea's Catholic and Protestant churches to seek their advice, keeping a pledge she'd made in last week in her second public apology. The top office said that going forward there will be more occasions when the president seeks the opinions of other religious leaders and people in diverse sectors of society. As for how the president and the new prime minister will split their roles and responsibilities, the presidential office said it's not feasible to draw clear lines between the two at the moment, but all possible scenarios will be discussed with party leaders once they sit at the table to speak with President Park. Song Ji-sun, ARIRANG News.
Now over at the National Assembly, it seems there's an internal feud building within the president's ruling Saenuri party. The party heavyweight has called on the president to quit the party, possibly setting the stage for a prolonged fight. At a press conference this morning, Kim Moo-sung, the former Saenuri chairman and a possible presidential candidate, called on President Park to take responsibility for the political uproar caused by the Choi Soon-sil scandal and quit the party. That drew a sharp rebuke from the party's decision-making body, the Supreme Council, which dismissed Kim's remarks, saying they are his own and do not represent the party. Meanwhile, the former chairman of the main opposition party, Moon Jae-in, who could be a presidential contender, urged the president to make a, quote, important decision on behalf of the people, implying she should resign. Korea's financial authorities have announced they're monitoring the local financial market to counter the rising challenges facing the Korean economy. Shin Se-min has details.
The nominee to become Korea's next finance minister has vowed to watch the local market around the clock as the finance ministry shifts to emergency operation mode. During an emergency meeting with finance officials and local market leaders on Monday morning, Im Jong-ryong, the current chairman of the Financial Services Commission, said the measures announced are effective immediately.
Uncertainties are mounting, but the economy and the financial sector cannot take a single break, as people's livelihoods depend on it. Financial authorities will stay vigilant at all times with a strong sense of determination.
Uncertainties at home and abroad, like the ongoing abuse of power scandal involving President Park Geun-hye and her confidant Choi Soon-sil, and the outcome of the U.S. presidential election are just a few that could hurt the local economy. The Choi scandal is likely to rattle foreign investors and further curb their appetite in the local market. The U.S. presidential candidates, who have both championed protectionist values, are expected to challenge free trade down the road. Republican nominee Donald Trump said that if elected, he will oppose the Trans-Pacific Partnership and renegotiate NAFTA. Democratic rival Hillary Clinton has called for stronger regulations on imports of oversupplied products like steel and chemicals, and argued for stronger penalties on unfair trade practices. Also looming is a potential December rate hike from the U.S. Federal Reserve and the impact it'll have on the Korean economy, heavily reliant on exports and weighed down by skyrocketing household debt. Given all of these factors, Im said he will work with the Finance Ministry, the Bank of Korea, and related organizations to fend off the fallout by implementing an emergency contingency plan if necessary to ensure market stabilization. 신세민, 아리랑 뉴스.
Turning to the U.S. election, Democrats got some welcome news on Sunday as the FBI announced it had not found new evidence warranting criminal charges against candidate Hillary Clinton. The FBI had reopened its investigation into Clinton's use of a private email server while she was Secretary of State, but the agency said it would stand by the decision it reached back in July after its first probe. Clinton's opponent, Republican Donald Trump, slammed the FBI's announcement and called on his supporters to, quote, deliver justice at the ballot box on Election Day. The renewed email investigation may have hurt Clinton in the polls. As of early Sunday local time, the Washington Post ABC tracking poll had Clinton with a 5-point lead over Trump. The Real Clear Politics average of polls showed the candidates neck and neck, Clinton with a lead of less than 2%. Voters will head to the polls on Tuesday. That's all for this hour. Thanks for watching. More to come on News Center at 10 p.m. Korea time.